Hey guys, and welcome back to another knitting podcast. It's been about a month and a half since I last updated you on what I'm currently working on and knitting up, and I feel like I've got a lot to share with you. It's been a busy old month and a bit, so today I'm going to share my finished items, my works in progress, new yarn acquisitions, and then I thought it'd be really fun as well at the end of each video to do a little bit of a highlight on my most worn kind of knitted item from the last month since my last update. I thought that might be really nice to include because obviously we're making all these amazing garments, but to highlight which we're getting the most wear out of I thought might be quite interesting. So stay tuned to the end for that little update. Let's just jump right into it. Quickly, what I'm wearing, I mean, this doesn't really need much of an explanation. This is my porcelain sweater by Knit. I knit this up I think about a year ago now actually. My first ever colourwork project, my first kind of drop shoulder project, and I think this took me about 6 weeks in total. One of my favourite jumpers. I actually haven't worn it out and about this year yet because it just hasn't been cool enough, but I'm hoping over the next couple of months I can get a lot of wear out of this, being as the festive season is approaching and this to me is a festive jumper. I knit this in Sadness Garn, Double Sunday and Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. I will leave my Ravelry down below so you can see all the specific details, yarn and colours, but I couldn't be more chuffed with how this came out, apart from the fact it is slightly itchy on my skin. For that reason I probably wouldn't knit with this Sadness Garn yarn again. Let's kick off with finished items. I feel like I've got so much to update you on and I'm so genuinely excited about them all. First up is my new favourite jumper in my wardrobe. This is sweater number 14 by My Favourite Things Knitwear in the most incredible kind of cobalt royal electric blue that I cannot get enough of. I just think this goes so well with all skin tones, especially pale skin. Really just, I don't know, brightens my complexion, makes my eyes pop, and it's just the perfect kind of oversized jumper. You can see this line where I've been storing it. I need to find a better way to like store my knits because that line definitely needs some sort of steam out. If you can hear any sort of like snorting or whistling or noises, it's because Maurice is literally behind you right now. It's actually super cute. I'm going to take a little picture. This is what I'm currently looking at. I couldn't be bothered to set my tripod up, so you're on my office chair that is now apparently Maurice's office chair. I held two yarns together to knit this up. First up was Rormer's Fivel, which is 100% Norwegian wool, but apparently it's one of Rormer's like softest yarns available, and I've been on a bit of a hunt the last few months to find some yarns that don't irritate or scratch my skin. I do think I have sensitive skin and I do get like super fixated on any itch or kind of irritation on my skin when I'm wearing clothes. Like if I have some sort of discomfort, I find it very hard to concentrate on anything else, which is one of the reasons I hate wearing bras. They're just the bane of my life. Sports bras for the win. Comfort is key for me, and so I thought I'd give this yarn a go. So Rormer's Fivel in the shade 21, such a beautiful bright blue. So apparently I've heard, or I did some research on Ravelry, and apparently this yarn pills a lot, and so to kind of counterbalance that I decided to hold it with a strand of Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in the shade 26. This is actually the exact colour I used in my porcelain sweater, and it's a tiny bit lighter than this Rormer Fivel blue, but it just makes a really pretty kind of mild effect, which you'll be able to see if I hold it up close. In terms of the pattern, I really enjoyed knitting this. It did feel like it took an awful long time, even though it was knit up on 6mm needles. And this was one that I actually timed the entire project of for my new series on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram yet, come and join me. It's at Kate Snooks, and I've been doing a new series where I time my entire knitting projects, and it's been so interesting to see exactly how many hours I spend a week knitting. It's made me realise that knitting is an even bigger part of my life than I originally thought. So I'll leave that series down below. I wonder if you can guess how many hours this took me to knit. So this pattern comes in only 3 sizes, so it's not the most size inclusive, but that ranges from an extra small small to large, and then XL to XXL. I decided to knit size 2, which was small to large, so this is super oversized on me, but I really love it and I wouldn't have changed it at all. I wanted something that I could just chuck over and would keep me so snug and warm and that I could wear with everything, and this has really done that for me in my wardrobe. My first ever time wearing it out was on my trip to New York in October. Such an amazing day out, and I just love that I have such special memories wearing this now. Wore this on our final day. We walked the Brooklyn Bridge over from Manhattan to Brooklyn, and yeah, just the fact this has just got such special memories like built into it now, which makes it even more special. I followed the pattern pretty much to a T. The sleeves are quite long, but I really like the look of kind of rolling them up. Ribbing is all done in 2x2, which I also really love. I think looks really sophisticated. Here is the neckband, and as you can see there are short rows in the back as well, and it also, the little design feature of it having a split hem at the bottom, I also really love. I just love this project. I would probably knit it again. In fact, I would really like to knit the v-neck version of sweater number 14 next, maybe in like a dark brown or a dark grey. We shall see. Love this, what a success. My second finished knit is also my favourite things knitwear pattern. I hadn't even started working on this the last time I filmed a knitting update, but it worked up super quick, and I'm so excited to share that I have knit my first ever skirt. So this is skirt number 1 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. If you have been keeping up to date with my knitting podcasts, you'll know that I fell in love with what my friend Claire was wearing to Unravel Festival in August. She had knit up a skirt suit, so skirt number 1 and then a matching cardigan in the same yarn, and she looked so stylish, and I can't believe I hadn't even considered that I could make something like that. So I immediately copied her and have knit up skirt number 1. I love the fact, guys, you can like just knit something. Like you just grab a ball of yarn and then you knit something and then you can wear it. It still blows my mind. I'm so happy that I found this craft and this hobby. It makes me so excited, and the fact that it's not just jumpers you can knit. You can knit a skirt. I love it. So for this I used 3 different yarns held together. So first up I used Drops Nepal in a medium brown shade. My balls are downstairs, I can't be bothered to run and get them, but it looks like this. It's an Aran weight yarn. I fell in love with this yarn after I used it for my marble sweater. I just think it's super soft, like it's squishy, it's soft, it doesn't seem to irritate my skin, which is a massive bonus. And for some visual interest, I decided I wanted to make it into a tweed, so I bought some of Rico Designs Make It Tweed in their brown shade, which looks like this. It has like black, brown, cream, and kind of like a speckled base lace weight yarn, and together they make the most beautiful fabric. But so when I swatched for this, I hit gauge with both of those yarns, but I felt like the swatch was kind of gappy, and because it was a skirt and would be around my bum, I wanted just a little bit more coverage, so I decided to also hold a lace weight yarn alongside those. A 2-ply lace weight yarn from a brand called Jamesons and Smith in the shade 4L. I'd never heard of this brand before, but I was literally just browsing online for lace weight medium brown yarns that kind of looked like the same colour. I found that and added it into the mix, and it's definitely done the job of just like thickening it out, making sure it's not too gappy or revealing. And this was another one that I timed in fall, so I'll make sure to have that series coming out by the time you watch this. You can go over and have a look. I followed this exactly to pattern, except I made it a little bit more cropped because I am very short. I'm only 4'11". From the sample pictures, My Favourite Things Knitwear looks like quite a tall lady, so I knew that I didn't want it as long. I just kept trying it on occasionally and making sure that the length was looking okay, and then I bound off early. And also this was a project where I learned so many new skills. So it's my first time working like an elasticated waistband, and it was also my first time knitting a non-rolling stockinette edge, which took me so long. I think that part of the timing took about an hour and a half just for one row. It was a lengthy process, but so worth it for the fact now that this stockinette edge doesn't roll when you're wearing it. The only other thing that I have left to do on this now, because it is finished, I left a little bit of a gap with my waistband. I've still got some live stitches on hold here because I wanted easy access to my waistband in case I needed to alter it or change it at all. I just keep forgetting that I still have this to do, so I think I'm gonna maybe just bind those live stitches. I think there's about 8 of them there, kind of just bind those off by itself so I still have access to the waistband if I need to make it bigger or shorter at any particular time. I haven't had a chance to wear her out yet. I'm really hoping I can do that over the next couple of weeks. She does feel quite rustic and quite itchy, but I think that might be the tweed and the Jameson's lace weight, because I know that Nepal isn't that irritating on my skin. It's because it is a wool skirt. I'm very aware that I can just wear it with ties, and hopefully that will kind of stop the itch. But what do you guys think? I absolutely love her. I'm so happy with this. I've got 2 more finished items, and the first is my Escher beanie by Rose Knitwear. This is a hat design that I've wanted to make for so long, and you guys, I would recommend this hat pattern to anyone. It has been, I think, one of my favourite knits of the year, just because the stitch pattern is so fun to knit up. It's so engaging and addictive and potato chippy, and I have not stopped wearing this hat. It's become my new staple. I just think it looks so professional as well. So you basically work slip stitches and some ribbing, and it just makes the most beautiful design that when you're wearing it, look at that, that just looks so fun. So this took me about a week to make. I used Drops Nepal, again my new favourite yarn, can you tell, in the shade medium brown, so it also matches my skirt, and the shade Cream, which is the same shade that I had left over from my marble sweater. It took about 1.3 balls of brown and less than 1 ball of the cream, so super quick and affordable project. You basically cast on and you work the pattern one way, then I can't remember exactly how you do this, but then you start working the pattern the other way. It kind of looks like that. It looks a little bit messy because I was still getting to grips with my colour work, how to hold the yarns, but I think I started nailing it as we got into the main section here, and it's just the coolest hat. I just love it. It goes with everything. This hat, because I wear it all the time without even thinking now, I've worn it into 2 different yarn shops, and in both the yarn shops the person working there was like, oh my god, that's the Escher beanie by Rose Knitwear, I really wanted to make that. It's so good seeing it in real life and seeing how cool it looks. If you're in the knitwear world, it's a really recognisable pattern, which is just such a great conversation starter. I would definitely make another one of these, maybe in some brighter colours. I still haven't woven my ends in. Look at all that. I keep forgetting to do that as well. It's been a busy old month. Highly recommend this pattern. And then my final finished object is my own pattern. I have knit up another sample of my first ever knitwear pattern, which is called the Chelsea Lace Bandana. I'm so proud of myself for this. One of my goals for this year was to write my own knit pattern, and I'm so happy with what I've come up with. This was my first kind of finished bandana, and I really love this colour. I want to knit it up again in this colour because this is the old version and it does look slightly different. As you can see, this is really uneven, so I've really just perfected the pattern with this one. It's got a slight different border, but it's way more neat. I don't know if you can see that. Way more neat, which took quite a lot of work to sort out. And then just the most pretty lacework stitch. If you are a newbie to lacework, I really recommend this pattern, which I would say, of course, because it's my own pattern. But it's a really quick knit, it's really affordable. It takes 1 ball of drop spell, so super easy, great stash buster, and I think it will work so well all seasons, all year round. My pattern is out now. It's out this week. I'm very excited. So I will leave a link down below, and if you did want to support at all, yeah, let me know what you think. My testers, I just had the best bunch of girls testing this pattern for me, and the bandana looks so beautiful on all of them, so I'm so excited about this. I am more aware that this is more suited towards the summer or spring, but I think just like on a rainy day as well, it would just help to really keep your head nice and warm, a little bit more dry. I've actually ordered a couple more balls of Drops Bell in some different colours. I've ordered a red and a brown, so I'm hoping to knit up some more samples for that, because I would love to do some more pictures for the Ravelry page. Just a quick note on how it's worked up. So you cast on a very few amount of stitches at the bottom, and then you work it up with increases on both ends and a really pretty kind of slip stitch edge, and then you finish with an I-cord bind off and I-cord ties. Super easy, super fun. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and I've also decided that I'm going to name all of my knitwear designs after places in London, and I chose Chelsea for this because it just feels sophisticated. Chelsea seemed to suit this bandana the most. Okay, and now on to some works in progress. I have three. The first is my matching cardigan for my skirt. So my cardigan I've chosen to knit is, oh my god, another My Favourite Things knitwear pattern. I'm so sorry. I should be more adventurous with my designers, but it just happens that I'm knitting a lot of her patterns up at the moment. I've chosen cardigan number 9. It's been on my list for ages that I've wanted to make, and it also ticks another goal of mine off for this year. So here it is so far. We're nearly there. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. There's a lot going on. Looks a little bit like Frankenstein's monster right now. So one of my goals this year was that I really wanted to make a saddle shoulder design, because I've never knit a saddle shoulder garment before, and so that is also one of the reasons I chose cardigan number 9, because it has that really pretty kind of saddle shoulder detail which you start with. So you cast on each side of the saddle shoulder and then pick up stitches across the back, cast on extra stitches, and then work it. You just knit it. Oh my god, I have been timing this one. I haven't actually looked at how long this has taken me to get to this point yet, but I imagine it is a good few hours. I feel like I've been knitting this for so long now. I'm kind of losing the will with it, but we're so close to the end. So we've done the whole body, we've done the body ribbing, we've done the tubular bind off, we've done most of one arm, a lot of decreases there. Next up I need to do the ribbing on the arm. I just need to try it on first. I've also completed both of the button band, like the front ribbing button band bits. I just need to do Italian bind off for both of those edges, and then I need to finish this arm here, and then oh, that's not all, and then I'll need to do the collar. So we've still got quite a lot of work to do on this, but I was really hoping to have this done by the end of this week, but I just don't think that's going to be doable. I've been out like 3 evenings this week, haven't had any time to knit really, which makes me so sad, but I'm really hoping to have this done very soon, because I would love to wear it out with my skirt. So I've used the exact same yarns for this, but I haven't used the Jameson & Smith 2-ply. So this is just Drops Nepal and Rico's Creative Make It Tweed. This is knit at a slightly smaller gauge. This was 5.5mm and this is 5mm needles, and I just can't wait to have this done. I don't know what kind of buttons I want to use for this yet. I'm thinking maybe toggles like in the sample picture. I think it's just going to look so cool, and also this will just go with everything in my wardrobe. I really love the colour brown at the moment, and I'm really missing a brown cardigan, so I cannot wait to wear this. It does, I'm not gonna lie, this does feel itchy, so maybe I am sensitive to Drops Nepal. I don't know. We shall see. Oh, the only other thing I should say on this is I really like the little finishing touches. So you finish all the ribbing with a double knit row, a double knit edge, and it just makes it, I don't know if you'll even be able to really tell, but it just makes it super professional looking at the bottom there. And then it's also on the button bands, even though I haven't bound these off yet. It's also here, so I think that's just like a really professional kind of finishing touch that just makes it a little bit more elevated and more sophisticated. Very excited to finish that. I have a petite knit pattern on the go. So I went on holiday to New York and Boston. I wanted to take a project with me to cast on that trip. The pattern I chose was the Stockholm Slipover by Petite Knit, purely because I've had the yarn for this in my stash for about a year, and also because it doesn't take very many balls of yarn, so I knew it was going to be a kind of lightweight project that I could easily carry around in my handbag and knit up very easily on a train or on an aeroplane whilst travelling. And this really was the perfect project to take away with me. So again, with this we're very nearly done. This is how it's looking. So for this I am using one strand of Knitting for Olives Merino in the shade Hazel, which is a really pretty nutty brown, and I'm holding it with a strand of Knitting for Olives Soft Silk Mohair in the shade Dark Mousse, which is a lot more on the grey cool tone side, but together these just make a really pretty kind of mild looking sweater vest, which looks like this. I just think these colours are going to go again so well in my wardrobe. So I made such good progress on this on the flight to New York. I think I was knitting on it for a solid like 4 hours. I got so much done. I think I got like most of the back panel done, the increases, and also the front like shoulder for one of the sides. And then on the way home I did the other side and joined it, and I think by the end of the holiday I was working in the round. Since then this has become my train project, so this is the project that is in my handbag at all times, and I only knit on when I'm on the London Underground, so that's why it's taken me so long to kind of get through the rest of this body. I'm also one of those people, suspected ADHD, I can't do one thing for too long. I need to be doing like jumping around from one thing to the next. I have almost finished my neckband. I just put it on hold here to try it on to make sure that I didn't want it any longer. The neckband in this pattern is only 2 centimeters, and I was worried that that was too short, but I did try it on yesterday and it looks really good, so I think I'm going to bind off that now. I've also worked one of the shoulders, I think just one more row, and then I'll be happy to bind that off as well. And then I will just have the final armband. That armband looks so big, doesn't it? I think I have seen people on Ravelry talking about how big the armholes are on this project. This will be something that I wear over a t-shirt anyway, so I'm not too bothered about it being super tight. And then I'll just have, I think I've got like 2 more centimeters of the body that I want to do, and then I'll start on the ribbing. I don't want this to be too long. In the pattern I think I've got like 10 more centimeters left to work before I start the ribbing, but I don't want it that long. Like, I don't mind it being a little bit cropped, so I don't think I've got too much work left on this now. And super fun project. It's knit on 4mm needles, and I don't think there's anything else really to say about this. I'm also timing this for my Instagram series, so stay tuned if you want to know exactly how long this has taken to knit. And then the final work in progress is a pair of mittens. So I really wanted to knit myself some fingerless mittens this winter. I made some last year, but they were my first mittens, and they are so big on me. I think I need to go in and redo the kind of ribbing at the fingers because it's so gappy. It doesn't keep my fingers warm at all. But when I was in the Beautiful Knitters store in Pimlico, I saw they had this really beautiful soft cashmere and a really beautiful sample of some mittens, fingerless mitts, and I decided to get the yarn for it. So the pattern I'm using is the Kit Couture Fugloy fingerless mittens. I can never pronounce the name of these mitts. And this was another project that I took with me to New York and cast on the subway in New York City, which again was a really fun experience. I haven't made too much progress on this, as you can see, because the needles are so tiny, and I'm not a sock knitter and I'm not used to knitting on such a small gauge. My needles are 2.5mm. I feel like the ribbing took me so long to do. yeah, the ribbing took me so long, and now I'm just working on this really pretty lacework section up to the thumb, and then I haven't read that far in the pattern, but I think these are going to be really cute. I didn't realise when I was looking at the sample in the Beautiful Knitters store that the lacework's actually worked on like the pearl side, so it kind of looks like that. These are a bit uneven, but I'm hoping the ribbing will kind of block out nice and even. I'm hoping it's not spring by the time I finish these, because I seem to just be not making very much quick progress on this. Oh no, I'm losing stitches. Okay, I've saved the day. I think as soon as this has finished, my time on the London Underground will be solely dedicated to working on this, and maybe a hat or two. Oh my god, that's all my works in progress. I feel like I've got way more on the go. Oh, actually, there's part of me, like new year, new me, I kind of want to go into 2026 with like a fresh plate with all of my old whips finished. Don't know if that's too adventurous or not, because I've got quite a few whips that I haven't worked on in a really long time. Are you someone who needs like a clean slate at the start of each year as well? If that is the case, then I think I'm like not going to be able to cast on anything new. I'm just going to spend the last month of this year working on all my discarded whips, but which I do really love. I just haven't, like, when you get new yarn, you want to knit the new yarn. But yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Saying that, I do want to cast on a cable knit project this side of the year. It's again one of my goals to knit a proper full-on cable knit design. Stay tuned to see what I cast on in the next video, but we're not finished yet, because I quickly wanted to talk about yarn acquisitions. So I've only made one yarn purchase this month, because last month I went mad. When on my holiday I spent so much money on yarn. I've got enough projects to last me all of next year with the yarn that I bought back from America. So if you want to see exactly what yarn I picked up, including a yarn that I'm so excited about, I will leave that video up here, and you can check out my video of going to yarn stores in New York and Boston and what I brought home. I did want to do a Christmas gift knit. I really want to make my husband and myself the sailor slippers, a design that is going viral on Instagram and TikTok at the moment. It's a design by Annie Sews, and these are a pair of slippers that you then felt in the washing machine after, and I've never felted anything, and I just think this is the best gift knit. Like, who doesn't want a freshly knitted pair of slippers for Christmas this year? I'm using the recommended yarn, which is called Drops Snow, and my husband loves a pop of pink and loves a navy and loves a black, so I'm going to be doing him striped pink and navy slippers with a black sole. I think that's going to look so fun. I cannot wait to knit these. And then for myself, I've bought some pink and also some red, so I thought bright pink and bright red might look really fun. But I've also bought some more neutral shades. So I bought Drops Snow in this really pretty kind of speckled colour, and then this colour as well. What is this called? 102, 123. I thought that might be quite a nice stripy, again with like a black sole or a brown sole. I'm undecided. So yeah, I cannot wait to cast that on. And then otherwise, I quickly wanted to show this, because if you've been watching my videos this year, you'll know that at the start of the year I decided that I would like to try my hand in dyeing some yarn, and I had a bit of a dyeing session at home yesterday, and I just thought I'd quickly share these because I'm really happy with how this came out. This is a yarn, I should probably have rolled it up, it's still actually drying, it's still a little bit wet, but I just like when it comes to dyeing yarn, I want to dye bright colours that I wouldn't necessarily wear as clothes, but I just love making like rainbow iridescent dye patterns. And so this is one that I made yesterday, and I really love it. I think it's so fun. It's just got loads of colours in it. I really like the colours here: blues, purples, pinks, oranges and yellows, and I've also got some greens in there. I think this bit's really pretty. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. This one I think was also a success, but kind of, again, not colours I would necessarily wear, but I wanted to do like a dark navy with pops of colour, and it's come out more purple. Definitely dyeing at home is a bit of a learning curve. You don't really know how the yarns it's going to react, and I'm not very precise with my measuring because I just want to have fun. But yeah, I really like, it's got some really pretty kind of pops of colour, kind of iridescent, kind of moody. I think they go quite nice together. And then finally I did this one, which was going to be another bright pop of colour one, but somehow has ended up really green. I don't really know what went wrong with this, but I really enjoy it. I think it's really pretty. And as I said, the majority is green, but it also has these little pops of colour running through, which I think, again, is really pretty when you find them. There's quite a lot of pink around here. And yeah, a little bit of a sage green kind of experiment. Don't know if you can see that. I don't know what I'm going to make with these. They're all DK weight, so maybe some hats. I might hold them with some fluffy yarns to make it a little bit more muted, but I'm loving hand dyeing, so fun. Then I wanted to quickly talk about my most worn knits since my last update, and I have two, and it is definitely my Sophie scarf. I think, worn this every single time I've left the house over the past month. It is such a great little staple. It goes with every outfit and it keeps my neck so nice and warm, and I think it just makes me look so sophisticated. If I do say so myself. I feel like I got my life together when I'm wearing my Sophie scarf. I know it's such like a well-known pattern, I don't really need to talk much about it, but I really want to make another one because it's just such a staple. So for this I used a cashmere yarn that I picked up in Copenhagen last year. It is the Cashmere Classic from Gepard. I think that's right. It's so soft, it feels amazing around my neck, and I just love the colour. So I've actually got this yarn again to make a bright red one, and I cannot wait to finish knitting that because I think again it will just go so well with my wardrobe. And also I should probably put my Escher beanie in with that as well, because both of these together, they go so well together, and like every time I leave the house I have this on to keep my head warm, my ears warm, and this on to keep my neck warm. It's not cold enough in London yet for like a proper big scarf, so this has just done such a great job. I really want to knit the Sophie shawl next. I have my yarn already, so maybe actually as soon as this is finished I can cast that on, because it'd be nice to have like a bigger one of these for when the weather starts to really turn. You guys, I think that's everything. I feel like I've been talking for so long. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you've been knitting on whilst watching this. I'd love to know. And yeah, what would you do with my hand dyed yarns? I'd love some inspo. I definitely want to make a video about kind of scrappy single skein projects at some point, so do stay tuned for that as well. Lots of love guys, bye.